welcome to the first Racing to Win in the year of the Rabbit. We preview Sha Tin on Tuesday. Huge 11 race program coming up across the afternoon, and an earlier start, of course, with the 11 races. Joined to preview it all today by Tom Wood and Nick Childer. Nick, happy Lunar New Year.
Yes, indeed. Happy New Year to you, Mark, as well. Happy New Year to everybody tuning in. Hopefully it's a very auspicious occasion coming up on Tuesday. A big meeting, the epitome of a Chinese New Year meeting, because it's fiendishly tough.
It is, and Kung Hei For Choi, Tom Wood, and we've got jackpots as well.
Yes, we've got jackpots. So, Mark, we've got 18 million up for grabs in the triple trio, with the 10.5 million being brought out of the jackpot bag there for triple trio players. And then we're setting the pools for the first four in the quartet, races 7 and 11 with $2 million. Race 8 looks a good contest on the program. Always popular race 8, number 8, Circuit Stella. He might be picking up a few red packets, I'd say.
I was going to say, what happened to the jackpot bag? But the red packets, props come out. Lally needs to up his game when he comes back. He's got nothing on you. And we'll have a look at some details of the meeting. Race 10, number 14, has come out. That is Decrypt. Lowell Hewitson, man in form, will ride Decrypt race 10, number 14. The meeting details were not too far off the midpoint of the season, and it is meeting number 39. 11 races, C course. First race at 12:30. We go right through until 10 minutes to 6 local time. The two races we preview: the Chinese New Year Cup Class 1 at 4:05 and the last at Class 3 over the 1600 metres. But the Chinese New Year Cup, 1400 metres is the distance. Healthy Happy at the top of the book. Zach Burton rides for Frankie Law. We've also got Blaze Warrior, Fantastic Treasure and the Golden Scenery, all coming out of similar form line races. Winning Dreamer never raced beyond 1400 metres before. The Irishman, he's been back to the trials. Beluga, £1 more than his win in the Panasonic Cup. And we've got Mr. Ascendancy, and above him Circuit Stella on a quick backup from last weekend. That's not the one just gone, but the one prior. All right, now, as far as the speed map goes here, boys, for race number 8, we know Healthy Happy likes to lead, Nick, and he might have to do it at a good tempo.
He might have to, yeah, as well. And look, he's drawn 9. It's only a field of 10, so he'll come across a few runners Healthy Happy. But we know he likes to lead, as you've alluded to, Mark, and Zach Burton going on board as well. So he'll have a good handle on the form, given that he rode the winner of that race last time. That Healthy Happy won, of course. Circuit Stella shouldn't be too far away. He's actually very well drawn in gate number 1, so he can press forward. And Beluga, Tom, up on his outside. I imagine he'll try and go with him from the early get-go.
And he's a full-time course and distance with a winner is Beluga. I'm sure Wagner Borges will be aware of Healthy Happy not wanting Zach Burton to get too much of a soft lead in the front. Outside of that, Fantastic Treasure. He was close up last time out, but would go down in the disappointing category. And the Irishman, he was disappointing last time out as well, but his jockey Blake Shin saying that he'd be better suited getting into the clear, so they'll try and do that with him this time round.
Okay, should be able to do that with a small field as well. Looking at the past winners here, Tom, it's not a race for household names, but there is a name on there that's won 2 of the last 3, and Alexi Bedella, good record in the race.
He does. Perfect Match, of course. It was a shame we never really got to see the absolute best of the Perfect Match with him going in. His Beauty Smile was a winner for Matthew Chadwick a couple of seasons ago. Cheerful Days just hasn't quite recaptured some of that form of sort of maybe 12 months ago.
Yeah, probably just finding life a bit tough, I think, now, isn't he? But did a very good job last season.
He sure did. Now, Alexi Bedella, who's on that list, is going to ride one of the horses in our first interview. It is Frankie Law, who trains Winning Dreamer and Healthy Happy, and Nick caught up with him at the races at Sha Tin on the weekend, and he's looking, as always, very resplendent.
Frankie, you've got a couple of runners in the Chinese New Year Cup this year. We'll start with Healthy Happy, who's been a real star for your stable. That was an excellent run last time in defeat behind a very good one in Lucky Swainess.
Yeah, last time he won good, and this time he also need to carry a big weight. So I asked the owners 1 meter set to see he can ride or not.
How important is it to have someone like Zach, Frankie? I mean, he's never ridden the horse before. Is he an easy horse to deal with, an easy horse to get to know, this guy?
I think maybe you put him on gallop once, he know the horse. So this morning I put him on gallop. He's a horse good form, yeah.
And how has he been since that run last time, Frankie? Obviously, he got as close as he could to what could be a very smart horse here in Hong Kong.
Yeah. After race, everything's good, and looking for the Chinese New Year Cup to see, yeah.
This time 12 months ago, Frankie, or thereabouts, he was running 6th in a Stewards Cup. Was this always the plan, to not go to the mile again and come to this race?
Yes, because, we always want to win the race for the owners. So we try to pick this race, should be better, yeah.
You've also got Winning Dreamer in the race. Just to ask for a line on him, obviously. He's had a couple of goes course and distance, 6th and 10th. Arguably a little better, a little bit shorter.
Yes, last race, 1200. He come from behind. He a bit. I think if we can go a little bit further, 1400 may be better for him at this moment. So I try again. I think we tried 2 times 1400 before, but I think maybe it's the time to try again. Yeah.
He's down as receiving a cut leg in that race, Frankie. What was the severity of that cut? Was it anything too serious or nothing to be too concerned?
Nothing really serious. Yes.
Frankie Law there on his runners, Winning Dreamer and also Healthy Happy, who Nick appears in our first replay as well. The horse on his outside just happens to be Lucky Swainess, but that is where he's more than likely going to be turning for home too on Tuesday afternoon. We've got in this race too Fantastic Treasure. He runs 4th, Blaze Warrior next, and the Golden Scene around the outside. It was a small field, it was tactical, and it was nothing much more than a dash home.
Absolutely, and look, I think on the day, the best horses won the race. You see Zach looking around nonchalantly to see where his rivals are, and they're all trying very hard. But look, Healthy Happy, he's a model of consistency, this horse, and he never really knows how to give in. But he's bumped into 1 too good on this occasion. I think of the rest, Tom, the Golden Scene is probably the one to take out of it, and I certainly agree with you. Fantastic Treasure must go down as disappointing on this.
He was, because he was well in the market to Fantastic Treasure, so I don't really know what we do with him on this sort of performance this time round. But Healthy Happy there had every chance, beaten by 1 bit of Lucky Swainess. He was carrying the big weight, Lucky Swainess, and Healthy Happy was only carrying the 123. So he has to shoulder the big weight, but he's got every opportunity to do that off the front, and he can be hard to run down.
Zach Purton, what about the other rides? Tom, is there a winner or 5 amongst these?
Yeah, well, he had 4 at the weekend. I think he's bound to get at least 4 this weekend with some of his rides. Baby Crystal yet to win, but he's got a good chance on his form. Team Good Luck's interesting there. Cheerin' Warriors, a winner in waiting. Merrick to Spec, so went well last start. Superb Daddy, he jumps back aboard him. Joyful Genius was unlucky last time out. Healthy Happy, Brilliant Wayne. Murado's looking for another win and jumps aboard Sinba in the last race from barrier number 12.
Yep, some very much informed horses, and if he doesn't leave with 2 or 3 winners, you'd be sort of scratching your head as to say why.
Absolutely, he's going to be very short in the Jockey Challenge, that is for sure, is Zach Purton. To the trials now, Nick. Fantastic Treasure has trialled since that disappointing race. He was on a 7-day backup, so perhaps if that might have been a reason that he finished down the track, we'll find out this weekend. And Blaze Warrior, he is not knocked about at all in this trial.
No, not at all. 5th and 8th respectively as we roll this in and we see how they do trial. This was obviously California Spangle. They're winning the trial, so a decent enough heat as far as quality is concerned. Look, Fantastic Treasure, we know he's got the ability. He's running off a mark of 100 and he's more than capable, and Blaze Warrior very much the same. So look, I think both horses, Tom, have their chance, but they probably do have a little bit to find with 1 or 2. Yeah,
he was a little bit slow out last time, Blaze Warrior, and then only just battled after that. You can see he wasn't put under too much pressure in that trial. I'm pleased this keeping Fantastic Treasure at 1400 metres, because definitely not a horse that gets to a genuine mile.
OK, next up we've got Fantastic Treasure again. He must be paying sponsorship for the show. Beluga is just in behind the leader, popping off the rail here, and Fantastic Treasure again there. So what of Beluga's chances, Tom? We know he's a proven Class 1 performer.
And we know he's got a very good record with Zach Purton aboard, but Zach's got the ride here on Healthy Happy, but we're here at handicap conditions. He's going to find it that's a little bit tougher up in the ratings. Again, he's gone from 95 off the win that 2 starts ago, and here he is again, but he is drawn well, so they're going to give him every chance, I think.
Yeah, I think so. Look, I'll give him a decent chance, Beluga. I think the fact he's got Matthew Poon's claim as well, good draw, there's plenty to like, and he's very honest. He always tries his hardest.
He's been up to Chungfar too, Nick, and here's a trial from him down the back straight.
Yeah, nice enough trial. This obviously, read into it what you will, I suppose, but I guess what it does confirm is that he's fit, well and healthy and ready to go back to the races. So he is a Class 1 winner. We know he's capable in this grade, and the trial looks nice enough and pleasing, Tom.
He's off for 58 days, so he's had that little freshen up, hasn't he? He's put on a bit of weight. He's up 27 pounds in body weight, the 6-year-old by Tavistock, but I think he's got every chance in this race, especially from the draw, even though it's tougher at handicap conditions.
Oh, it's a good report for Beluga. We go back to Not the weekend just gone, Tom, but the one prize. So it's a quickish sort of backup for Circuit Stella. There he is in the yellow colours, and the other horse here, Mr. Ascendancy. He looked the winner at stages of the straight in this race.
He went a big race last time out. He had a nice run, sort of 3 back, 1 out. So this wasn't that long ago. It was only back on the 15th here behind Tukul, who's going to line up as one of the favourites this weekend, no doubt. And he tried hard. Was only beaten 3/4, Nick, and he's another one right down at the bottom of the handicap here.
Yeah, and look, and I suppose that is your concern a little bit, is the fact that he's trying the grade for the first time. And yes, he's got a lightweight, but yes, he's meeting better horses. But look, he wasn't beaten far. Circuit Stella's another horse who usually turns up, runs his race, but Mr. Ascendancy certainly one to keep right with.
Okay, and finally, Nick, more trials. This time it's the Irishman who, as Tom said, he was very disappointing. He's been a bit of a one-hit wonder all season. He won that race when he was second up. Outside of that, he hasn't done a whole lot.
Yeah, look, he hasn't quite convinced me as yet, but I do respect he's a decent type of horse and he's got a fair level of form. I thought he hit the line nicely in this trial, so certainly doing some good work late. And look, if the Irishman turns up, then he's definitely a player, but he's been a beaten favourite his last twice, Tom.
I think he was almost a false favourite last time out at Sha Tin. I didn't expect him to line up at 3.4 in that strong race last time out. One stride after the post, he's basically in front here with Waikuku on his outside. Yes, disappointing. I'm going to give him another chance in this race, though, because he is capable of fronting up, but he was a false favourite, I think, last start.
So just on a minor line?
Yeah.
So who have you got around him and to beat him?
I went with Healthy Happy in the end. I think he'll be dangerous off the front here for Zach Purton and Frankie. Laurie is carrying the big weight, but he is certainly good enough to be able to do that against the opposition that he faces. Beluga gets his chance here with a good draw and only 120 pounds on his back, so he definitely goes in. The Irishman, give him a little forgive on the back of that run last time out, because he was okay prior to that behind Packing Award. That was at the Valley over 16.15. And the Golden Scenery always runs a race in this type of contest, only having his second run in this grade of Class 1. Luke Ferraris knows him so well, and Tony Cruz trains. But 1, 7, 6 and 4, I thought Healthy Happy would be tough to beat.
Yeah, I agree with Tom. I've gone the same top 2 numbers here. I think the class might just out in a race like this, and Zach Purton going on board obviously very much catches the eye as well. So Healthy Happy on top to assert his class here in the feature on Chinese New Year. Beluga, I think, has got every chance here with a nice lightweight, good draw. He's won his recent trial and he did look well doing that. The Golden Scenery was running home nicely last time out. These conditions should suit him. And I've kept Mr. Ascendancy safe there down at the bottom, number 10. He's got a bit more to do in better grade, but he's certainly acquitted himself well. 1, 7, 4 and 10.
That's the preview for the Chinese New Year Cup, the Class 1 trophy race, as race number 8. We take a break here on Racing to Win, back with race 11 right after this. Welcome back to Racing to Win. We preview Sha Tin on Tuesday for Chinese New Year race day, and on to race number 11 now. Final race on the program is a Class 3 over the 1600 metres, and they line up this way. Sinba's a last start winner and carries an extra £9. We've got Sight Spirit on the class drop, Capital Legend on the 9-day backup, Super Sunny Sing aiming for 3 in a row. Quantum Patcher first starter was Bingo Bronson for Gear Lines, one over the 1800 at Leopardstown. All Richards first time at the 1600 metres. Circuit 9 has the blinkers on and looking cool. Has one off a rating of 61. He's off 62 for this race on Tuesday. What about the speed map here, Nick? We've got All Riches. We know he likes to get across and find the fronts.
Yeah, absolutely. He's a confirmed front runner, isn't he? And he's drawn gate number 2 there for Derek Leung as well. So, look, this will be a fourth go over the. This will be a fourth go in the grade and first go over the course and distance. So he's interesting, but he looks more than likely to go forward. Maximus can show a little bit of speed for the Millard stable. He might well be prominent as well. He's drawn 9, looking cool down at the bottom. He's also got a little bit of early speed, and Sinba I don't think will be too far away, along with Super Sunny Sing there, Tom.
Yeah, All Riches, he's got all that natural early pace and should be able to lead this field easily here. Looking cool, Maximus. Sight Spirit back on the inside there. He normally races handy, should do so again from barrier 1. Might be an opportunity for Sinba to get in somewhere, but it looks tricky for Hugh Bowman on Capital Legend, who was tough last time out. He had a tough run last time out, so we'll see what he can do.
And that is the speed map from the boys, but we're heading straight now to the trainer of Sinba, last start winner. It's Jamie Richards.
Jamie, Sinba is your runner in race 11 on Tuesday. Really good performance from him last time. That must have pleased you and the team.
Yeah, he won well. He was fortunate that he drew a good gate and he got a good run. And yeah, he's a horse that came in with a good reputation, and he seems to be going along well.
couple of factors with that last run. One, he had a tongue tie on, and he also dropped the 12 pounds in body weight. How important were those factors, do you think, leading into that win?
As I've sort of said all the way through, most of our horses will race with a tongue tie on. It's just another excuse that the horse doesn't have. And obviously tightened up a little bit from his first run, but he's held his weight nicely. He hasn't been too long between runs, so he's just been doing some maintenance work. Unfortunately, he's drawn a bad gate, which makes things tricky for him, but and obviously goes up in weight as well, so it doesn't get any easier for him on Tuesday, but he is a progressive horse.
He's up to a mile. He won just shy of this trip in Australia when scoring 4 times. Do you feel that's his trip going forward now?
Yeah, well, he's obviously a 4-year-old, and we have aspirations to try and end up in some of those nicer races. We just thought we'd try and give him one more easier race and miss the Classic Mile, and if he runs well, then we can step up and run against the big boys next time.
Just on that Classic Mile aspect, how much consideration was given to perhaps getting him into that race? Because his rating would certainly have allowed that of 79.
Yeah, I think set weights, Keefe's rated 100, packing treadmill's 93. You're giving those horses sort of 20 pounds and a fair bit of weight. So I'm a little bit of a believer in keeping your horses in the worst company and yourself in the best, a good old Bart Cummings line. But look, if he runs well, then we can step him up and have a crack. But I just thought one more run in Class 3 off a marker 79 was the right way to play it, and the owner was happy to go along with it.
Yeah, it's certainly sound advice from the legend that was Bart Cummings, of course. And just finally, he has got a Derby entry. Is that ultimately where you'd like to end up? All
yeah,
being well?
For sure. We hope he's good enough. He needs to keep improving. I think you need to be rated around 100 to be, a shot in those sorts of races. But he's certainly, he's probably the flag bearer for the stable at this stage, and it's nice to have a horse of his quality in the stable. So hopefully he can continue to run well and improve, and we'll see where we end up.
That is Jamie Richards on the Simba. We move on now, Tom, to Gallant Waking. Now, this is his first look at Sha Tin for quite some time this race, and his first go over the 1,600 metres there. Obviously was on trial for a 4-year-old series tilt. He's lining up this week over the mile again.
Yeah, he's off a rating of 74. He hasn't had a lot of luck with barrier draws of recent times, but I thought this was an exceptional run from him down the outside here. Barrier 13, like this time round again. There was a lot to like about it, the way he was closing off, and he was only beaten a length and a half.
Yeah, the run can certainly be upgraded, that's for sure, Tom. Once you've watched it back a couple of times, you can see why, and he's finished upside some pretty decent types. The horse on his inside is Viva Chaleur, who is being spoken of as a live sort of outside chance for the 4-year-old series.
Absolutely, he's out of the Found stable is Viva Chaleur, but Super Sunny Sings out of the Flying Chris So stable, and Nick tracked down Chris at Sha Tin on the weekend.
Chris, Super Sunny Sing is a horse that's been in absolutely superb form of late. Has he even surprised you with the level that he's now gone to?
Well, we know the horse has got ability, but he performed, in the last couple of runs and improved a lot. And also we think, we can try to go more further. And the horse is doing his good job this year. So
he goes to a mile this time around. Obviously, you mentioned the trip. He just continues to prove himself very effective at 14. 16, will that come like for like, do you think, as far as trips?
Yeah, that's the original plan, because we talk about with the owner, talking about the last time we win, we try to put him in the sort of, some 4 years old special, like Classic Mile. But at that moment, I think, after the last win, we still not enough rating. So, that's why we changed the plan for the 16 and other on the 24th. Yeah.
Going through a strict line of that Classic Mile, obviously 2 starts ago he beat Voyage Bubble. He's come out and franked the form since. He's going to head to the Classic Mile. So on paper, he would seem like he's probably the one to beat on Tuesday.
I think, on the paper, I think, he's still, in a good form. I think, he should still win a good race. So, let's see how this run, and we plan for the next couple races after this race, because we've never been to the 16. That's why we have to test it.
And this being a test, now he has got a Derby entry, of course. Obviously, there is only one Derby, so if you're not in, you can't win. But should he come through this test well, is the plan to then step him up furthermore?
I think so. We plan for that. But, depends on how he's performed, step by step.
There he is, Chris O, trainer of Super Sunny Singh. We move on quickly here, Nick, to our next replay. It's Capital Legend. This was his first start in Hong Kong, which was impressive over the 1200. He raced wide at the start after this.
He did, yeah. So, there are certain excuses for him. And he also sustained a cut leg. I'm not sure how sort of, bad that injury was, but clearly not enough to keep him off games. Hugh Berman's booked. I like the booking, but trip maybe a slight concern for mine, Tom, but you couldn't fault him first day on this occasion.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure how he ended up 3 wide from his barrier draw of 3 last time out, but didn't finish the race off at all, and so that was difficult for him stepping up in trip. He went from 12 to 1600 metres.
OK, so it's a good field, Tom. Simba win again. Super Sunny Singh keep winning, or are you gone elsewhere?
No, I'm going to stick with Simba here. He was the first son of Extravagant to win in Hong Kong. I think he can go on with it again. Hopefully he can get some cover from barrier 12. Super Sunny Singh goes in. All riches, I think he can run a race, and Gallant waking off that last start performance. 1, 6, 10 and 5.
Yeah, I've gone Super Sunny Singh here. I think he's a really nice horse, very progressive, and I think the further he goes, the better he might even be. We put him on top over Simba, who's done nothing wrong. Gallant Waking, he was good last time, having covered extra ground. And Sight Spirit, I think, goes in as well, given that he is down in grade. 6, 1, 5 and 3.
That is race number 11. But, Tom, there are another 9 races we haven't previewed here on the show, so give us a couple of those winners at least.
Well, I thought Baby Crystal in the first race could go close. He comes out of the John Size barn. Team Good Luck, another one for Zach Purton, also a Turin Warrior. Later on in the day, Nicholson Returns is going to try and do it from a wide barrier draw again. And you've also got Victor, the winner there, and Red Lion later on. 2 chances I don't mind either at the back end of the program.
And you can find out all of those analysis and videos and everything at hkjc.com. Click on audio and video, funnily enough. Tom, need your best bet, play a long shot, please.
Race 7, number 7, Joyful Genius for David Hall and Zach Purton. Unlucky last time out. Just a one-time winner it was in Class 5. Rainbow had got a new stable change. Casper Founds there, and Vincent Hoke combined with him. And Healthy Happy, the Irishman, and Beluga, the play in the main event of the day.
Yeah, best bet for me comes up in the latter part of the afternoon. Race 10, number 2, Red Lion. Really like this horse, really like the way he's racing. I think he's ready to win. Alexi Bedell rides for trainer John Size. And as far as a bit of a long shot goes, race 2, number 1, Super Hornet. We go the Bedell double here. He's downgraded. Hopefully he finds a winnable sort of race. And the play for Tuesday's meeting, race 11, numbers 1, 5 and 6, the play in the last.
Blue Marlin. Lowell Hewitson was good to us on the weekend with Ching. He rides the first starter for Douglas White here, and the trial form has been good. Does have barrier number 12, so we'll need a touch of luck. Douglas for the double with Boom Alliance, race 6, number 3. Really unlucky last time. He may not have beaten Nicholson Returns, but he certainly didn't get a chance to show what he could do. And the QP race 4, Blue Marlin, Nice to Be Met, and A America to Spexo, 3, 5 and 6. That is a racing to win, Nick, for what's going to be a massive day at Sha Tin. It should be a huge crowd too.
It certainly should be a huge day, and some big jackpots as well.
Yeah, there are, and looking forward to next weekend. We've got the Stewards Cup and also the Classic Mile.
Absolutely. It's going to be the clash of maybe the season, 3 or 4 seasons. Anyway, it's coming up on the weekend. That's been Racing to Win. We'll see you tomorrow.